trying new things can be so scary and overwhelming, and you just have to take a deep breath, you know? Guys, it's Abigail. Welcome back to my channel. I have a lot of hair. Maybe that's a weird thing to say, but with everything going on in the world, I decided to grow it out from my little side pixie cut, and it's currently kind of crazy and there's not much I can do about it, so please excuse the floof. So in my last video, which was a channel update, I talked about how I am now having two channels, one for doing a storytelling episodic series and one for doing AuthorTube. And so I would like to share a bit about this series because so far writing it has been really interesting and different than my process in writing books. So the first thing that you have to know is that this series is actually set in the same world as my book series. So already there you have a lot of complications where you have to make sure the timeline is nailed down and completely correct. So you know when certain things are happening, if there's overlap, say they're happening at the same time, then you have to know what's happening where in order for things to line up correctly. So getting an outline done was really important, and a timeline being part of that was really important. So I actually love to share how I do the timeline a little bit with you because it's fun to share. So you can see really briefly that I do a really simple timeline. Just arrows and a straight line, and I have where they end up based on the year. I also have a longer period of timelines and shorter period of timelines, so if things happen in months, it's obviously based on months instead of years. But you can just see I do have a little arrow which tells the year, and then the description briefly of what happens. And so that is how I do my basic timeline. It's very simple and it's easy enough to deal with when you're trying to do about 5 different other timelines as well. And they all kind of fit together like pieces of the puzzle. But I think the biggest difference between writing books and writing a video series would be the actual writing style, as you kind of have to fit a beginning, middle, and end into every single episode that you write, whereas you don't really have to do that with chapters as much, but you do have to do it for the overall book. With the series, you have to not only kind of do it for each episode, but then also for each season, and then have an overall beginning, middle, and end feel to the entire series in general. One of the most daunting things is probably one of the most exciting things for me, though, because this series actually takes place in the same world as my book series. It's daunting because obviously there's a lot of overlap and I have to make sure everything is congruent and makes sense, but at the same time it is so exciting because that means that I get to have overlap and see different characters interact that may not otherwise, and really give sections of my world that I had created and fleshed out but really wasn't a major part of the book series, be able to give that more of a spotlight in this video series. And also same thing with characters that were just secondary characters in the book series now are given way more attention, and including being actually the main character. So it is really exciting to play around with all that and try a different storytelling format and just have fun with trying something new. I think it just goes to show that although something can be really, really scary and overwhelming and daunting, it can be for that exact reason that it's a lot of fun to do. So pushing through your fear and hesitation and really going for what excites you and what you want to do and what you're dreaming of is really important. So that's why I encourage you today to step out and take a leap of faith and go try that new thing that you've wanted to do but have been too scared to do. That's my challenge for you today. And if you do have something like that, I would so love to hear it in the comments. Tell me your dreams. Tell me your ideas that you've been too scared to even try because it seems so crazy and overwhelming to you. Well, that's going to be it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have a great day and that I'll be hearing from you in the comments below. Thanks again.